Welcome back to Steel City Drones. I'm Dave, and this is
Andrew.
Andrew. It's Tuesday. What does that mean?
Must be Free Tech Tip Tuesday.
Right, so we got a real good one for you today. We got a lot of people asking about GNSS receivers, bases, rovers, NTRIP, PPK, and the proper workflow, and how to be able to use this equipment. So we're going to talk a lot about answering these questions. We got a lot of questions about them, and we're going to show you how we're going to set up the base station, and we're going to show you how to be able to record observations for GPS and checkpoints. So I see on a lot of forums where there's a lot of people out there that have bought the Matrice 4E Enterprise, and they're putting NTRIP directly into the remote controller so that the drone gets the NTRIP corrections automatically. But what a lot of people are doing and missing is a very important step regarding validation. Let's say, as an example, Andrew's my client, and Andrew wants a stockpile measurement where he wants to see exactly how much fill is there for the stockpile. And he wants me to go ahead and start taking these measurements on a regular basis. Because if I hand Andrew the project and say, these are your measurements, Andrew as a client has every right to come back and say to me, well, how do I know what you're giving me is accurate? I can't just go out there and tell him, trust me. That doesn't work like that. So I can basically say, well, here's what we did. Here's the measurements that we took on site, and here is how we validated our data, and our data shows that we are very, very tight with accuracy. We're going to go ahead and set up this base station right here. I'm going to show you how to be able to go ahead and also get the corrections to the drone from the base, and then we're going to go ahead and show you how to be able to use our rover right here, and how we can directly connect our base to the rover so that we can get real-time corrections to the rover when we're taking either ground control point measurements and observations or check shots. So let's get started with that process. So I have up here, we're going to use our EMLID receivers, which I highly recommend. The EMLID RS3s is absolutely the way to go. Reach RS3s and or even 4s. So with the EMLIDs go, the software in the app is really good and it's intuitive. So I'm going to show you now what I have here. So I can actually select which of the GNSS receivers I want to go ahead and connect to. So I'm going to connect to my base. So once I'm connected to the receiver, it brings me to the main page. And it has all of the receiver information. At the very bottom, it allows us to be able to also create a new survey, which we're going to show you how to be able to do that in a few minutes. So when I look at the receiver options, if I go under status, showing me all of the satellites that we're getting from the sky, and what the current coordinates and position that the base is directly over, and also whether we're getting corrections or not, which we are via NTRIP. Next, we're going to be able to go ahead and assign something to the input. In this case, I am assigning an NTRIP correction to the input. We could also assign something to the output. So if we actually wanted NTRIP to come out, we could do that as well. If I wanted to go ahead and set up lower radio, we could do that. And then if I want local NTRIP, which we're going to actually use to connect the base to the rover, we would then go ahead and select that. If I want to log everything for PPK, I would hit start recording, and just like that right there, it's going to record raw RINEX file for PPK. My base settings, I can go ahead and configure this so where I can set my antenna height, and then we can set up the base station over a previous observation. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new project, and then we're going to record a N-trip observation and then bring that observation into this setting to actually configure the base. I'm going to go to my base settings, and I'm going to hit configure. And I'm going to be able to go ahead and automatically get the antenna height right up to here, get that measurement, and I'm going to put that where it says antenna height. And I already have that in here. And it's 5.91 right up to here. And the app automatically calculates to the center of the antenna for me. So that's done automatically. So I'm going to start a new project. I'm going to call this YouTube. And I'm going to select the coordinate system, the local coordinate system, which is Pennsylvania, PA South, and that's going to be set in survey feet. And for my corrections, I have N-trip via reach. And I'm going to come out here, go back to the survey, go back to my project, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the plus sign, and I'm going to call this the base. Oh, before I hit measure, I'm going to show you, just so you know, I'm going to go ahead and do an overall 5-minute observation, just to be able to have that amount of data, my antenna height right there, and now I'm going to hit measure. So what it's doing now is actually recording a 5-minute observation right over this point right here. And we can set it up over a known point, a marker. This actually has a laser rangefinder, so if I hit the rangefinder, I can actually put it directly, very precisely over a known point. And it could be like a ground control marker, it can be a parking stripe, whatever you want it to be over if you want to actually come back and reuse it again. Okay, so it just finished taking the observation. I'm going to go back out of this. I'm going to go back into my antenna and GNSS receiver base settings, and I'm going to hit configure again. This time, now, I'm going to go ahead and where it says choose from project, and the actual observation that I want it to set up to, and hit apply. So I got a 5-minute base observation from N-trip. Now my base is absolutely calibrated. So once we have set up the base with N-trip, we can turn off that input. We no longer need N-trip, and I'm just going to go ahead under the corrections input and turn it off. So now what I can do is I can go ahead and fly the drone and connect the drone directly to the base. What we're going to do is come out of base output 1 and select it. And we're going to go ahead and select local N-trip. Now, that information, IP address, username, and password is what we're going to go ahead and put into the drone's controller so that it can go ahead and connect to it. So both the remote controller and the base have to be on the same Wi-Fi network to be able to get those corrections. So now that we've collected our data from the drone, and the drone has taken all the pictures, including any GCP or check shot markers that we're going to want to make sure that we include, now we're going to go ahead and set up the base where the base is then going to connect directly to our rover, and then Andrew is going to go ahead and take the measurement for this point right here. So then now Andrew's going to go ahead, he's going to go ahead and take, this is called a bipod, and we're going to take the tip of our rod, put it directly over our point that we want to measure, and now he's going to go ahead and level that out so that it's nice and level. And then the next step would be now to go ahead and change the settings in the base and set up the rover so that we can go ahead and take the measurement. We're going to go ahead and select the base output to lower radio. And on the rover, we're now going to go ahead and select corrections input to lower radio. And now it's going to go ahead and get the corrections from the base. Now, on my EMLID receiver, I'm going to select my rover. And I'm going to go ahead, and the corrections input is what we're going to use is LoRa radio. So we no longer need an internet connection for anything at this point. We're going to use the antenna out of here, and it's going to connect to the antenna here via LoRa radio. And the range on the EMLIDs is outstanding. So I have been able to go over 1,000 feet without even being within line of sight without having any problems. I can also be able to go through several buildings. So if I'm all the way down there on another building, I have no line of sight. It can go through this building, go all the way up here, go through that building, and be on the other side of that to take measurements without any problems also. So the LoRa radio on the EMLID receivers is outstanding for line of sight. So now that I'm connected to my app here, and I'm connecting through my rover, now I'm going to go to my base settings, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure my antenna height is correct. So again, now this is basically fixed right here, but I do have a little unlocking mechanism here. So I want to make sure that it hasn't moved at all. So I would just go from the bottom of the tip to right here at the top of the very bottom of the base and get that measurement, and it really should always be 1.8 meters. And I'm going to put that in here, and that then will set my base height. Actually, I'm going to say that's my rover height. Now, that's all I really need. I'm going to go back to my project. I'm going to hit new, and now I'm going to call this GCP1. And I would take that measurement. I always like doing a minimum of a 5-minute observation when I'm taking either setting up the base, or I'm actually taking an observation from my ground control point, or any check shot that I do. So I'm going to go ahead, take the measurement, and hit measure, and then it would actually take that 5-minute observation, and when it's done, it's going to be all loaded into here. And then after that, I would be able to go back into projects. I would be able to pull this project up, and I would be able to hit export out as a CSV file. As far as what's in that CSV file, it gives me more information than I'll ever need. It'll give me the global coordinates. It'll give me the local state plane coordinates. It'll tell me how long the observation was and how many satellites did it have during the average amount of time for the observation, and on and on. So it gives me all this information. It's going to take about maybe a total of 10 minutes to set up my base from the time I'm going to go ahead and set it up, level it out, turn it on, get a connection to it, set up the app, and take the observation. It's about a 10-minute process. And then all we got to do is go from one device to the other. So I would be able to connect the drone first, hook it up to this. Then when that's done, go ahead, connect it to my rover via a LoRa radio, and I can go out and take as many measurements as I want and put it into a project and export the project out, and I have all of the information that I need, and I can enter it into DJI Terra or whatever you're going to use. Now, we have a lot of exciting things coming up, Andrew. We have on-site mapping training. Why don't you tell our audience about what we have available?
So we have an upcoming course in August that'll be here within the next 2 weeks, September and October. We have 2 weeks, so they're 4-day training sessions set aside for it. If you're interested, we go over a lot of basics. We also go over stuff like what Dave was talking about in the video regarding base and rover to teach you guys the basics. You can either bring your own drone, or we have some like the Matrice 4E, the Matrice 400 that we can let you guys use.
Yep.
If you're interested, just go online to our forum where we have it, send us the information, And once we get closer to dates, we'll reach back out to you guys, give you more info on places to stay and other information regarding it.
So we have, again, we have 5 more different dates before it gets too cold to be able to do this in late October. So we're going to go through late October. All of the mapping training is done with me. We do them up into groups of 4 so that we limit how many people are in here, so we get a lot of one-on-one time with each person. And we go from the very basics to the advanced, depending upon how advanced we got to get with what you want. So we tailor make it around the group as far as what your needs are. And besides the on-site training, we have online training. So we have 3 different online courses depending upon how far you want to get into it. It's beginners, intermediate, and advanced. And we have, if you buy the whole package with all of that, there's over 22 hours of video, data sets, and samples that you can use without even needing to fly a drone. So with that said, that's everything with this video. Until next Tuesday, Andrew, will take us, you want to sign it up?
Yep, we'll see you guys next Tuesday. We're excited to talk to you guys and give you more info.
Thanks again.